In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been provided by filing a copy thereof with the municipal clerk on January 7th, 2013, faxing a copy thereof to the Home News Tribune and Star Ledger on January 8th, 2013 at 8:47 a.m., and posting a copy thereof on the bulletin board on the main floor of Borough Hall, 221 South Fifth Avenue, Highland Park, New Jersey, on January 8th, 2013 at 9 a.m. We have fire exits to my right and my left, your left and right respectively, and assistive listening devices are available. I would ask both members of the public as well as members of the governing body to please speak into the microphone. Jamie, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Minkoff?
Here.
Councilwoman Pearl Mittler? Councilman Erickson?
Here.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin?
Here.
Councilman Millay?
Here.
Councilman Potts?
Here.
Councilwoman Welkowitz? Borough Attorney Schmier?
Here.
Borough Administrator Kovac?
Okay, James McCrone, our Executive Director from Main Street, is here with us this evening for a Main Street Minute. Jamie, you have 60 seconds. Go.
Thank you. Yes.
Now you have 50 seconds.
Just to get you up to speed, the Shop Your Town initiative is slowly getting underway. Unity Bank is on board as the principal sponsor. This is a townwide shoppers reward card where participating downtown businesses provide an extra incentive towards shopping locally. Key Main Street board members have taken part in a 20 ingredients to a successful downtown webinar with Roger Brooks, which was sponsored by Main Street, New Jersey. It was very informative. It talked about branding, and it's already paying dividends in terms of getting constructive discussions going with landlords and with furthering some more discussions regarding our branding. I'll talk about that in a minute. We're also moving forward on a new website that I think I talked about before, that we received a grant. The grant was to make our shophighlandpark.com site more mobile. Our metrics tell us that more than 30% of users are using shophighlandpark.com from mobile devices, so this is a timely and important thing to be doing. The redo will be more extensive than originally thought. The revamp, it'll include a revamp of the whole site, putting both Main Street, mainstreet.org and Shop Highland Park together on a single integrated platform. This is all being paid for by the grant through Main Street, New Jersey. It's already paying dividends in new volunteers, increased attendance at our org, promotions, and design committees. So that's really very exciting. We have also found a possible partner in the Lions Club. Max Bruno of Berkeley Bakery is the president of the Highland Park Filipino American Lions Club. I was inducted into the Lions Club this past month, and they are looking to take a greater role in downtown Highland Park, and I think it's a welcome addition. We are assisting with a downtown mural project put on by a local artist. That was actually reported in the Highland Park news that you all put out, so I'll just skip over that. I don't know that I mentioned, but the living rooms are even better looking than we thought they would be as part of Streetscape. They're being, actually, as cold as it's been, I've seen people sitting in them in the evening, so it's really, really cool. I can't wait for it to get a little warmer out. Main Street is looking at a pilot program to use engineered soil in its planters to help reduce watering and our watering costs, as well as to give us a year-round plant interest. What we'll do is on a very small scale on some that we have on the Main Street lot, some very small planters, we're going to use engineered soil like the kind you find on a green rooftop. We'll put that into the planter and basically see how it works. if indeed it does work, I think Highland Park will be a leader in this realm. I don't think anybody is even is thinking about or implementing it right now, and we're looking to partner with Rutgers Gardens, Rutgers University, to see what other kinds of things can be done with this. If it does work, the way it would be, we wouldn't completely redo the planters, but rather, right now they're in kind of a Tweedledum, Tweedledee pairing up and down the street. There's a tall one and a short one.
Is that a scientific term?
It is a scientific term. Thank you for recognizing that. The pairing, however, is usually a short one and a taller one, and that we would probably, the thinking now, though obviously it's evolving, is that the smaller one would take over this engineered soil, and that we would plant succulents, things like that last sort of year-round and for many years, and that the other one would remain as is. So it wouldn't be a complete reduction in buying plants each year or in the watering, but it would be a significant reduction. So we'll see how that goes, but that's in the planning stages right now. Lastly, this is an exciting time in Highland Park. BBQ is getting ready to open. They're contemplating a grand opening on April 17th. Simuel's Closet, a new clothing store, will open soon, probably the second or third week of April, they hope, at 141 Raritan, which is where Raspberry Beret used to be. That's the corner of 2nd and Raritan. The Old Queen's Coffee and others are doing well. I've had a couple, I continue to have a lot of interest in the few vacancies we have left. I'm particularly excited that the corner of 2nd Avenue is now full, except for the Sunoco lot. 3rd Avenue will have activity at it, and the bike shop remains open. But except for Trio Gifts, the old Trio Gifts space, which has a lot of interest right now, I can't imagine staying on the shelf for very long. We're in very good shape with a very small vacancy rate currently. And that's my time well over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie, I have two questions,
Okay.
if I may. One, just in case it's not clear to the public, the Shop Highland Park program, without me taking away anybody else's thunder, as I understand it, is an affinity program of sorts that would enable people who direct their shopping dollars into Highland Park to participating merchants, a la Main Street, that would, in essence, enable people to get the equivalent of a rebate on their property taxes?
Exactly.
So that's a strong incentive to shop Highland Park, yes?
Absolutely, which is very, very excited by it. The idea behind it is it can work either for property taxes or for people who rent and aren't paying property taxes. They would receive, it's a shopper's reward card. So you could either receive a check at the end of the year, or or the money the money would be credited toward your tax bill. I was actually going to talk about it a little bit later, but I mean, if you want, I'm pleased to go forward with it.
Well, we can discuss it in conference. I just wanted, since this is being televised
Yeah.
and the conference meeting isn't, I just thought that was something important that those that are going to watch at home might be interested in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's great news to hear that that's moving forward. I think probably well ahead of the originally projected schedule, so I think that's very exciting. Another question I had, I'm glad that you talked about the, quote, pickup in activity and interest in Highland Park. That's obviously something we're very pleased to hear about. Mm-hmm. My specific question is, do you have, or could you get for us, if you don't have them, some sense of comparison that is, I'm just going to take a hypothetical number. Let's say that our storefronts in the Main Street, the Central Business District, the Main Street area is, I don't know, let's say the occupancy of those storefronts is 92% or 93%. How that rates compared
Or
to...
it's closer to,
Maybe it's 98. I mean, I don't know. Whatever the number is,
Okay.
I'm just curious to know if there's any comparative data that maybe instructive. In other words, if it's, if it's a downtown that's 20 times the size and their occupancy rate is similar, I don't know if that means anything. But for, say, roughly comparable downtowns, if Main Street, New Jersey has data like that available, just to get a sense of how we're doing relative to the others.
I will look into that. I know anecdotally that we are doing well, and vis-a-vis our colleagues of similar size towns, we're actually doing quite well in terms of our vacancy rate.
Excellent.
I'll get you the hard
Okay, thank you. Terrific. Does anybody have any questions for Jamie? No? Can you just wait until we do public comment, which will be very shortly? Thank you. Okay, Jamie, you'll hang around, right? Yes?
Sure.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, that's a terrific report. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, council reports. Councilmember Foster Dublin, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Real briefly, that we've been seeing signs of graffiti throughout town in different areas. And I'm encouraging members of the public, if you see graffiti being scrolled around or people in the act, please call our police department. We were trying to ensure that the graffiti is not all over our town, and we're going to be working on efforts to remove those graffiti as soon as possible. And the graffiti that you see in some of the public utility boxes that belong to the state, we can't remove them. However, we're requesting the state to give us permission to do so. So we're hoping to have those removed in short order. But if you do see people vandalizing the place with graffiti, please call our police department and help us all to keep our town beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Potts?
Just want to give a brief summation of the Teen Advisory Committee's first big event for their group. They haven't been in existence that long this year, but they've done an excellent job in putting together a terrific evening. On March 9th, they had their first event, which was a talent show, and that was held at the Highland Park High School cafeteria. In that process, along with a great night of camaraderie, the group was able to raise $192 in cash for the food pantry here in Highland Park, as well as receiving a good number of donations as well. So I congratulate the executive board on a successful event as their first event, and all the people who were helping, and the vendors that also assisted us with the refreshments as well. Also, I wanted to mention that the summer camp and Junior Owls sports camp brochures are available. They can be found either at the Senior Youth Center, or also on our website, hpborough.com. For seniors, in addition to all the other activities that they have going on, their next trip will be a trip to historic Smithville, and that's going to be held on Thursday, April 25th. And there's information down at the Senior Youth Center as well about that. But that's their next larger trip plan. And then longer term out, I mentioned this before, just everybody keep in mind for the Memorial Day Parade, which will be held on May 27th, which will start over in New Brunswick and actually end at the Doughboy Monument here in Highland Park. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to underscore something that you said about the Teen Advisory Committee. First of all, I think it was terrific leadership and the ownership that the students have taken. I mean, there were in excess of 100 people at this event. And I think that from a standing start a few months ago, I mean, you and Andrea Bay and the team leaders have really embraced this in a terrific way. But I think it also behooves us. We ask a lot from our merchants in town. They do an awful lot for us in a small community, and we don't have an infinite number of merchants, and they don't have an infinitely deep collective set of pockets. But when we ask them for things, they're very, very gracious. And Papa John's and Jerusalem Pizza, Sushiana and Carvel really were very gracious and generous in their support of this particular event. And we're very thankful to them. We're very thankful to the Highland Park Public School, to the high school in particular, and the Board of Education that treated us very favorably and very nicely in providing access to the cafeteria. It was really, it was nicely decorated, and it was obviously very clean, and we tried to leave it in as good, if not better shape than we found it. But all in all, this was very much a community effort, and I feel very fortunate to be a part of it. I'm thankful that the teens have not banned me from their events and have not blocked me from their Facebook page, which is incredibly considerate. And so, just in general, if you're a teenager or a parent of a teenager in grades 7 through 12, Whether you're in public school, private school, or homeschool, I hope that you will check out the Teen Advisory Council, and if you have more specific questions, please reach out to Andrea Bay or Councilman Potts, and they'll be happy to fill you in on the details. And of course, you can contact me as well. So I just wanted to add that. Councilman Erickson, do you have a report for this evening?
Just briefly, next week we'll be hosting a meeting of Building 1 New Jersey, their executive committee. The purpose of Building 1 New Jersey is to revitalize inner city suburbs. And so it's a fairly large group of towns and churches spread throughout New Jersey. So we're actually actively participating in that project.
Thank you. Council President Millay.
Just a quick announcement. On Sunday, April 21st, there will be an Earth Day celebration and working event down at the Environmental Educational Center on River Road from 11 to 3. Between then and now, we'll have more details posted on the website as far as the specifics, but I wanted to just get it out there and make sure people have it on their calendar. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, Borough Administrator's report?
No report, Mayor.
Borough Attorney's report?
No report.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to mention a couple of things. One I mentioned briefly during the agenda meeting that I'll repeat for public consumption, and the other one is something that I didn't mention inside but that I participated in yesterday. So the Board of Public Utilities and our utility public service have done any of a number of public hearings and debriefings related to the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. And I've been following this, participating intermittently, et cetera, but I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on what the discussions have been so far. Maybe not to the nth detail, but a pretty good sense of what's transpired. And just in a nutshell, one of the real crucial issues that I've tried to raise with the Board of Public Utilities, as well as with public service and our connections at public service, while they may not be unique to us, they're certainly important to us, and that's the issue of how we manage our electric utilities relationship with the thousands of street trees, which are obviously a very vital and treasured resource from an aesthetic standpoint, from a natural resource standpoint, from a sustainability standpoint. We think they add a lot to the town, obviously, but certainly, as we all know, those trees did present some real issues for us in the aftermath of the storm. And that's not unique to Highland Park. And this is a conversation that the utilities and the Board of Public Utilities, the regulator, are having related to what they call vegetation management, who's responsible, how they go about scheduling, allocating resources, the approach that's used, methodology, the crews, anything and everything. And ultimately, I think there will be any of a number of conversations about whose responsibility will that be. Will it be shared between the utilities and the municipalities? Will it be the municipalities only with training and support from the utilities? I mean, all this is yet to be sorted out. But I did mention this to some people that are responsible for accepting public comment and the comments of government officials when it comes to issues like this that are staff members at the Board of Public Utilities, as well as our contacts at Public Service, and said to them, these are real concerns that we have, and we think they need to be priorities, because whatever happens in a large community, that's one thing. Everybody have their share of issues, but we can't be in a situation where if something like this were to happen again and a number of trees were to come down, notwithstanding the loss of electricity, God forbid if an actual section of town is blocked because live wires become intertwined with downed trees, and an ambulance couldn't get through or a fire truck couldn't get through, that's obviously a very, very serious situation. And the Board of Public Utilities not only acknowledges that, they recognize it, and they're trying to work on plans to address that. How quickly that's going to happen, I can't say. But they're obviously aware of these issues. They've been made painfully aware of them from any of a number of sources. So that's one ongoing discussion. The other thing which I wanted to mention is yesterday I attended the grand opening of the newest New Jersey Small Business Development Center, which is now at Rutgers on the Livingston Piscataway campus in what's known as the Business School Annex. And I mention this because, and I will reach out through Council Member Bill Mittler, our Economic Development Chair, through Main Street, and our other connections to the business community. They have any number of resources available, technical counseling, consulting, which can be as inexpensive as free, whether it's for how to go about starting a business, how you file certain documents, whether you want to be certified as a minority-owned or women-owned business or a person with disabilities owning and operating a business, to any of a variety of other issues. This is a project of the U.S. Small Business Administration. It's the primary relationship to the Small Business Administration, and I might add parenthetically that on the clerk's counter, the Small Business Administration has, I know, loans. There may be grant funding available. I don't remember. Forgive me. But on the clerk's counter, and maybe we can put that up on the website if we haven't already, we can scan these 2 flyers and make them available as PDFs. For people that suffered losses, whether it's a home office or a small business as a result of Sandy, you might want to check out these flyers. We'll get these on the website just to find out if there are any applicable grant or loan programs that could assist you. There's money around for such purposes. So that's one aspect to what they do. But the other thing is they also do various types of training, whether it's how to use various accounting software programs, bless you, Chief, whether it's accounting software or whether it's on attracting and retaining talent, whether it's on how to select a location for business, a whole litany of topics that are, and these are also subsidized through various grant sources, et cetera. And the conversation that I hope to have with them, which I've already started in a very informal way, is, what can we do to partner more with them as a community? What can we do? Because let's face it, we have many great businesses that are owned or operated franchises or branches of larger retail chains or businesses, but many of our businesses in town are small, if you will, ma and pa, or ma or pa, entrepreneurial enterprises. And that's what the small business development centers specialize in servicing. So that's a partnership that we've begun talking about to figure out how we can create the best possible access to their resources at the best possible price for those to be able to take advantage of it who need it or could benefit most from it. So stay tuned, because hopefully we'll have more details about that. And as a corollary, I just want to add one more thing. I don't mean to ramble, but it's also important, because there are people that really do need help out there. And I also had a conversation yesterday with some folks from Middlesex County's Workforce Investment Board, and I expect to have more conversations, or we'll have more conversations with them. Their job is really to help people that are either in transition or have been out of the workforce for a while, whether it's through retraining, whether it's trying to make available to them various opportunities in different industries, whether it's through job fairs, career coaching. There's a whole, I would urge you to go to the Middlesex County website, and you can check out the Workforce Investment Board and the One Stop Center. There's a lot of resources, and the building itself is down on Jersey Avenue near the Jersey Avenue train station. But if you're out of work and you're trying to figure out how you can get back into the job market and you're absolutely confounded, I mean, they get a tremendous amount of traffic now, and as you could well imagine, the demand is very high. On the other hand, this is also a resource that if you're not aware of, you may want to be aware of. They may be able to provide some guidance and other forms of support. So those were the things that I wanted to mention, and at least one member of the public has been exceedingly patient. Thank you. We're going to open public discussion now, so anybody that would like to speak, we've got up to 15 minutes right now, and another session in the end if we need it. Just please come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and feel free to ask your questions or make whatever comments.
Well, actually,
can you just give us your name and address, please?
Sure. My name is Dan Keel. I live at 119 Harper Street. I apologize, actually, because there's a chance, after listening to the Main Street Minute that Jamie gave us, that maybe what I'm about to say is redundant, and I just need to start volunteering for his organization. So there's a good chance of that, but if you'll indulge me. What I came here today to propose, well, let me just start with a bit about myself. I've lived in this town for 9 years now. I went to Rutgers and moved here right afterward and stayed because I love this place. I really think it's a great town to live in and a very special place. I actually bought my first house about a year ago, on Harper Street, because I feel so strongly about, the great things about this town. And I think a big part of that for me, one of the aspects that I always really appreciated is the community's involvement in and support of the arts. And the proposal that I have is is very much in that spirit. I'm sure everybody's aware of the, when you come over the bridge into Highland Park, the big kind of moldy looking
Retaining wall.
Exactly. For years now, I drive past that several times a day, and I say to myself, I really wish that we could, as a community, come up with some sort of way to make that attractive, make that match the great work they did across the street, with the new sign and the garden area. Kind of bring all that together and make that really a gateway into our community and something that really says who we are as soon as you start driving in. So the Main Street, the former headquarters of Main Street, is kind of the model that I've been looking at. I think that the kind of abstract mural work that is done there and is done actually in the right around the corner in the alleyway by White Lotus is exactly the kind of thing that should be done, and I would love to see done, and I would love to get the support of the community and to volunteer my time to make that happen.
Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, thank you very much for offering to assist and be supportive in that effort. I have to confess that some of the details escape me. Fortunately, we have had some conversations about this. I mean, the first thing is, Patrick, can you help us out with A, who owns it, and B, what's been discussed to date?
Well, it's not a case of ownership because I think it is owned by the property owner, but the Department of Transportation considers it in its right-of-way and has complete control over what would go there. And speaking as one that's dealt with the Department of Transportation,
Be gentle. Be gentle.
All right, well,
we need them. They're stakeholders.
Yes. Okay, then enough said. I share exactly, and we've come up, and we're looking to do something there, and it would just be an incredible place to do it. And since, at the flip side of that was, and since, they seem to have stated their claim to it and said, well, when are you going to fix it up? If you're not going to let us do X, when are you going to? So we've put the ball back in their court, and we're waiting to see. But we're very interested and would value anybody's help on that issue. But I would, there are a couple of, Jamie's group, Main Street, we also have an arts commission. But if you're really, the public art phase would be great, and I would recommend you work with Jamie. But any input you want to put in any aspect of the town, that's what we need. New, younger stakeholders.
Thank you. Yes, because as you can see, we're getting up there. I was just going to mention one other thing. I forget where it is, if it's on the cover of the redevelopment plan or the master plan. One of the plans that's downloadable from the website has a rendering of what we had hoped at one point would go on that retaining wall. I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but it's at least one point in time we had a vision for what we would like to see there, and whether or not that proves to be a point of departure, what we actually do is something completely different. We're absolutely on the same page in that regard. We don't see it as something that really introduces the town and helps us put our best foot forward with the current visual or aesthetic effect that has.
Yeah, well, the way I see it, any change would be great. And I'm sure just from what I've seen of the work that has already been done around the town, I fully trust that anything that we come up with will be terrific.
Great, thank you. So, again, there are a number of ways you can follow up. You can follow up with Jamie directly. If you were interested in the Arts Commission, we have, what do we call it, a talent bank? That form is on the website too, the volunteer form, yes? On the borough website, which is hpborough.com. I don't remember exactly where it is, but somewhere on there it says be a volunteer or volunteer, and there's a downloadable PDF that you can just fill out, print out. We don't have it so that you can just do it right from the website, right? You can't just volunteer from the website. All right, that'll be in our Web 2.0 plans.
We could give you one before you leave. We're going to get you. We have one on the hook. We're not letting them go.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one to the communications committee because we have a professional relationship with the website. Some things we're allowed to update, some not. But I appreciate the offer, and if we can, we absolutely will take you up on that.
Great.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments as Jamie hands you the business card? You gave me your card, right, not my card?
Yes, I gave him my card.
Okay, good. You're all going to have my card too, but Jamie can help you a little bit more directly on this one. Okay, terrific. So if there's no more public discussion right now, then why don't we move to our agenda? Clerk, can you report on the advertising of the cap rate exception ordinance for consideration of passage on final reading by title?
Calendar year 2013 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank was duly advertised for consideration of passage on final reading by title, and affidavits of publication are on file. The ordinance was posted and made available for public inspection as required by law.
Okay, can I have a motion to take up the ordinance on final reading by title?
So moved?
Second.
Okay. Seeing that there's none, can I have a motion to adopt and advertise the ordinance on final reading by title?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to table Resolution 313-105, the bond ordinance for the 2013 Sidewalk Improvement Program?
Motion to table.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Okay, just in the interest of clarity, we're tabling this because we need, I believe, a larger complement of our council members to be here in order to actually pass that ordinance. Okay, the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to adopt the following? 313-106 through 313-117 inclusive. Resolution to refund tax overpayment, tax appeal block 162, block 162, lot 36. Resolution to refund tax overpayment, tax appeal block 190, lot 4.05. Resolution to approve payment to public safety building architect. Resolution to approve bills list. Resolution to credit waste and sewer account for 131 Barnard Street. Resolution approving pay estimate number 6 to H&S Construction and Mechanical Public Safety Building. Resolution to approve record licenses. Resolution to authorize execution of Beehive Volunteer Agreement. Resolution to approve professional service agreement, Borough Planner Alan Schechtel. Resolution to award 2013-2014 annual tree maintenance contract. Resolution to award 2011 sidewalk improvement bid. And resolution to approve taxi operator licenses. So I need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think we have any open items. Any other public discussion? Okay, seeing that there's none, can I have a motion to adjourn to conference?
Motion to adjourn.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, have a good night.